Hello everyone, this is Helbo and today we're here for a showcase on the one and only Yinlin. Yinlin just came out a few days ago and she was a really anticipated character. Lots of people are going to be pulling for her, so on this guide today we're gonna go over how you're going to be building her, the combos you can do with her, the best team to use and everything you need to play your Yinlin at her full extent. But before we get into the video, I just want to give a personal thank you to Tiza because Tiza allowed me to play on his account so that I could record footage and test Yinlin for myself so that I can make you guys today this showcase. Thank you Tiza, and now without any further ado, let's get into the video. So to start off with the video, we're first going to do a kit breakdown of Yinlin. We're going to see like essentially what her kit is about. So Yinlin, her basic attack are going to be in a 4 combo. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Something good to know is that for her air attack it can parry, so this is the air attack, and if you time it the right way you can also parry with it. The resonance skill of Yinlin is technically in 2 times. You have the first activation and then you have the second one. There's a combo you can do with the skill. You're going to start your combo with the skill, use all your basic attack and finish with the skill. So it's gonna look like this: E skill, basic attack, 2, 3, 4, and then you finish with the second activation of the skill. For the forte circuit of Yinlin, this is going to be a thing that's going to be providing most of her damage. You're essentially going to be holding your left click when this is going to be full, and this is going to apply a mark on the enemy just like this, and every 1 second it's going to trigger coordinated attacks just like you can see. So for every 1 second, if any character attacks, it's going to just trigger a coordinated attack from Yinlin. So if I were to swap on Carshalo, for example, this is going to do a coordinated attack. Yinlin is going to be attacking while I'm on Carshalo. Resonance Liberation is, I'm guessing this one everyone knows it because of the animation, but this is essentially just a big damage. Right, she's just going to be doing this. There is one combo you can do with Yinlin, but this is one of the reasons why it can be complex to play her. Is Yinlin on her basic attack you can swap cancel the auto attack 3 and 4. So in the best of world, if you want to do a full combo with Yinlin, you're going to do intro, so your concerto energy is full with another character, so you're swapping on Yinlin, so the intro skill. Then you're going to be doing the first skill followed by the second skill, but the second skill can be cancelled, so you're going to be swapping on another character. So E1, E2 into cancel, then back to Yinlin. You're going to be doing basic attack 1, 2, 3, 4, swap cancel, back to Yinlin and ultimate. And this should provide you enough to fill out your forte gauge, and then you can just do the forte ability and swap onto Carshalo and do your full combo with Carshalo. Let's now talk about what build you're gonna apply to your Yinlin, what weapon you're going to want to give her, and what echo and the echo set you're going to want to equip on her as well. So for the weapon, you have a few options. I'm going to give you 4 options you can go for, and the first one is obviously going to be String Master, her signature weapon. This weapon has a good substat. It's going to increase her crit rate, so this is really good. It also increases the damage bonus by 12% when dealing resonance skill damage. We use 2 skill, so this is really good. It increases the attack by 12%, stacking up to 2 times, so 24% in total. It lasts for 5 seconds, and when the equipped resonator is not on the field, it increases their attack by an additional 12%. Why is that? Because as we saw, the forte circuit is going to apply coordinated attack when we're swapping her out. So this is going to be really good for her because all of her coordinated attack are going to gain an additional 12% damage when she's off the field. So this is really good. The second weapon you can use on your Yinlin is going to be the Cosmic Ripples, which is the 5-star rectifier from the standard banner. It is going to apply a good substat of attack percentage, and it's going to provide overall a good energy regen as well as some basic attack bonus damage, which can be stacked up to 5 times, lasts 8 seconds, and can be triggered 1 time every 0.5 seconds. This is a really good option on Yinlin. Technically, this weapon is the best option to go for if you want to play your Yinlin as a main DPS or a dual carry DPS. Now, as a more affordable weapon you can go for, it's going to be the Augment weapon, which is the Battle Pass weapon. It has a crit rate substat which is similar to a signature weapon, and it's going to provide you with some resonance liberation damage bonus that can last up to 15 seconds. So this is a really good option to go for. Not so much free to play because you still have to buy the battle pass, but if you are a low spender and you really want to get a decent weapon for your Yinlin without ruining yourself, then this can be a good weapon to go for. And now the last option that you can use, and this one is actually free to play, it is the Jinzu Keeper. This one you can craft at the crafting table, and it's going to provide you with an attack percentage as a substat, and whenever you're going to use your intro skill, it's going to increase the caster's attack by 8% and the HP by 10%, lasting for 15 seconds. This is a decent option to go for if you do not have any of the previous options we just went through. Now for Yinlin Echoes, you're going to have a few options. The first Sonata effect you can go for is going to be Void Thunder, but you can also go for another option if you want your Yinlin to be more based on buffing your main DPS, for example Shadow. Then you can go for the Moonlit Cloud, which is going to provide Yinlin with more energy regen, and after casting your outro skill, it increases the attack of the next resonator by 22.5% for 15 seconds. At the same time, if you go on the Heron, you're also going to be providing a good buff because the echo skill of the Heron is going to be increasing the next character's damage dealt. So this is going to increase it by 12% for 15 seconds. So if you do want your Yinlin to be dealing as much damage as possible, you go for the Void Thunder, but if you want your Yinlin to be essentially boosting your Shadow or your main DPS as much as possible, then you go for the Moonlit Clouds. Now let's see, we go for the Void Thunder. As the full cost, you're going to have two options. Your first option is going to be the Thundering Mephist. This one is going to be providing you with an electro damage bonus by 12% as well as a resonance liberation damage bonus also by 12% that lasts for 15 seconds. The second option is going to be the Tempest Mephist. This one is essentially the same, but instead of the resonance liberation bonus damage, it gives heavy attack bonus damage. This is less optimal for Yinlin. We barely use any heavy attack with Yinlin except for triggering the 40 circuit, so you'll be losing a little bit of damage, but now this is essentially what you have to decide. This one you cannot cancel it, meaning that you have to stay during the entire animation of the echo, while this one you can cancel it. You just wait until you're sure your echo attacks are being triggered, and then you just swap into another character and the echo is going to be triggering the attacks. So this one is overall going to provide you with more damage since the resonance liberation is going to be increased by 12%, but you're going to have to stay for the duration of the 5 or 6 attacks of the echo, and during that time you can be hit and you can be killed by your enemy, while this one you can just go on and do other stuff with your other characters like dodging and parrying and just applying some damage. So it depends on what you want to go for. You have those two options. Whether you do prefer being able to quick swap on another character while your echo is still dealing some damage, it depends on which one you want to go to. Both are good. Obviously this one provides a better echo effect, but they're both decent options, so it depends on what you prefer. Now let's say you go for the Thundering Mephist. For the main stats you're gonna want to go for, if you have Yinlin's weapon, I would recommend going for some crit damage because Yinlin's weapon is already going to be providing you with a lot of crit rates, so you can maximize your crit damage as much as possible going with the crit damage as the 4 cost echo. For the 2-3 cost echo, you want to go more on the electro damage bonus. If you do not have a good electro damage bonus but you have a good attack piece that you can equip, then you can go for it, but still the electro damage bonus is overall going to be better on the long run. The one cost are going to be some attack percentage. Now for the substats you want to aim for, it's essentially going to be crit rate, especially if you do not go for the crit rate on the 4 cost echo and you do not have a weapon. You're going to want to maximize your crit rate as much as possible, following by the crit damage, energy regeneration. Ideally, if on this you can reach at least 30%, this on this account for example it's 26%, this is really decent, but if you can reach around 30%, this would be the ideal, followed by some resonance skill bonus damage and resonance liberation bonus damage. For her forte, what you're going to increase the most is going to be the 40 circuit. You're going to want to increase this because this is how she's going to be dealing her coordinated attack. Then you want to increase obviously this using the resonance skill magnetic roar, increases Yinlin's crit rate by 15% for 5 seconds, as well as the deadly focus, which is going to provide you with the resonance resonance skill lightning execution is increased by 10% when hitting targets marked with Sinner's Mark, and Yinlin's attack is increased by 10% for 4 seconds when this triggered. This is going to be providing you with crazy buffs while you're going to be dealing damage with the coordinated attack. And then obviously you want to increase the resonance skill, resonance liberation, and basic attack. The intro skill is less mandatory, you just increase it whenever you can, but it's not the main thing you want to focus on at first. If you want to invest a little bit more in your Yinlin, I would recommend for low spender to go on a resonance skill magnetic roar and lightning execution, deal 70% more damage. This is really good if you just want to get bigger damage of Yinlin, but overall you can go for anyone that you want. They're all honestly really good, especially this one, but your Yinlin is going to be perfectly good without any of the dupes. But if you want to invest a little bit, stop at the S1, is going to be good, and then just go for whatever you want. Now let's go over what team you're going to want to play your Yinlin with. The biggest team everyone knows about is Shadow, Verena, and Yinlin, but you can have a few other options. Yinlin is going to be the most efficient with Shadow, so let's go over the team. Essentially, you're going to want to keep Yinlin and Verena, but what options can you go for as a main DPS once you have them? An option you can use is going to be the Havoc Rover. Havoc Rover has a huge multiplier and burst on his ultimate, so this is going to be providing huge damage combined with Yinlin's coordinated attack, so this is a valid option you can go for. If you do have Enko, you can go for Enko as well with Yinlin. Now, one character that is going to be a little bit harder to play with Yinlin is going to be Danjin. If you want to play a 4-star, that is going to be Danjin, because Danjin, I would say, is a little bit too selfish and she does not really want to be swapping that often. She wants as most on-field time as possible, so it might not be the best option, but if you really do want to play this, then you can go for it. Just keep in mind that it's not the best thing to go for. You can play Yinlin with Jian, but Jian already has Mortify. Mortify is still going to be more efficient, and Jian also, just like Danjin, requires a lot of on-field time, so the best team is really with Shadow, but you do have those options that are open to you if you want to use them. Alright, that's about it now for Yinlin's showcase and guide. Overall, what I thought about Yinlin is that she's a really good character. She's going to be viable for a very long time in the game. I do think that there's going to be two options that are going to be happening. Either she's going to be staying very concrete and viable for future teams, especially when she's going to be getting a new 5-star main electro DPS, because Shadow requires a few quick swap because he has some long animations. So whenever we're going to have another main electro DPS that does not require a lot of quick swap, kind of like just like Jian in that sense, then Yinlin is going to become even more viable in that sense. At the same time, there's another option that can happen that I feel is that if there is another character that releases that does overall the same thing as Yinlin with her outro skill, providing bonus damage for any type of character no matter what their element is, and at the same time also boosting the damage of the ultimate, Yinlin is going to go down. She won't really be the best option to go for. So if there is another character similar that releases in the next few months but would be doing what Yinlin does but better, then Yinlin would just not really be viable anymore. But as of today, she's a really good character that goes in a few teams. She's really good and she's going to stay like this for quite some time. I don't think I would consider her a must pull character. Verena is a must pull character, for example, but I don't think she's really necessary in your teams right now. We're now reaching the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to leave a like and subscribe. You can also find my social media in the description. I have a Twitter, TikTok, and you can also join the Discord, in which we have active members that are really passionate about the game. Until the next time, bye bye guys.